Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Atari, we need to have a serious talk. You've gotten sorted to a slump, I think, here. I haven't seen a lot of new releases. Now, let me start off by saying, guys, I love. Uh oh, I dropped a cart there. I love my Atari collection. I really do. I love my Atari products. I love the games that come out. I still play them. I'm having a great time. But we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this library right here. Let me tell you, the best thing about my Game Station Go is that I get to play 5,200 games on it. And when it comes to the 5,200, there's a big black hole in space that Atari is just not addressing. This was a great console, right? It was. I remember the first time that I saw it, and I saw my friend playing it at his house. I think I remember he made a video about this. It's the first time, like, I knew I was poor, because he had a better game system than I did. I was like, what? Remember he's playing in his garage, and I think he pressed pause or something. I was like, like I was in shock. But no, there's a great library, man. There's a great library. Let me tell you, to this day, right? This is just my theory that Super Mario Bros. Here really is the first Super Smash Brothers. I think that the Smash Brothers idea came from here. But not only that, I feel that it's a underrated game. When I first saw Mario Brothers, believe it or not, I wasn't that happy with it because I saw it in the arcade first, right? And I was like, the image seems really stretched because of the aspect ratio and stuff, the way they had put it in this machine. And I miss the tightness of the controls of the original Mario Brothers, right? And so to me, Mario Brothers is still a very underrated game. I love playing it. I love playing it in the 5200 specifically. There's something about playing Atari, on the 5200 that's just different. You have to experience it, right? You really do. Regardless, guys, I think that Atari just, what are they going to do, right? What are they going to do for the 5200? It has to have a cartridge slot Atari. We love the Sprint, right? Sprint could have been more, right? But we love it. Still play it. It's right there, right? But the 5200, man, you got to do something about that. You just went straight to 7800. It's like it doesn't exist. And it's so important to us Atari fans, to those of us who are, look at that. We are of the Speed Racer generation. Look at that car. It's a beautiful car. And I am of that generation. We who experienced this console back then, who wanted it back then, are of that generation. And to just skip over it, okay, the carts were different. But you have to do something. Sell us an adapter. Can you come up with an adapter? Can you come up with something? You know what you could do? You want to revive the original, VCS that you released? All you do is do a plug-in 5200 adapter. Release some emulation software so we can plug our cartridges in there. We would probably start being happy with that. But we don't even have that. We don't have anything. And there's so many great games that you could re-release on there. The library is special. The 5200 library is special, where you're talking about gore, where you're talking about, I don't know, memorable games like Star Trek, Mario Brothers, Miss Pac-Man, all those. As a matter of fact, I just ordered some more 7800, 5200 cartridges coming in there too. But it's a console that's underrated, and I think it deserves a better treatment from the company. I think it deserves its own release. Even if you do it in the format of the, 7800, whatever. But let us have our cartridges back, man. It would be so amazing to go back and put in these cartridges in there. And it's a lost generation of games. That where you can only have this one console who famously was just famous for having bad controllers, right? But man, you guys have to do something. We just can't pretend that that the 5200 didn't even exist. When you have these jams on there like this, look, I'm still rocking, and I'm very happy, by the way. I don't want to sound like like I'm happy with Atari products. I'm not. I'm very, very happy. I'm very happy with what I have. I'm happy with what I've ordered. Having a blast with the Pac-Man. Just amazing. For me, it's for me and my family, friends, breath of fresh air. Having these properties here. But as a collector, right, as a person who's supported the company from the beginning, from when you released the console, it's a little rough, right? Let's not kid ourselves. It was a little rough, but we supported you. We got to where you are. We're happy with the products. Of course, you have to expand into the different markets, the PS5, Nintendo. We get it. Okay, we get it. All we're saying is don't forget who got you there. Throw us a bone once in a while. And you know what would be a great bone? The 5200, man. Just do something for us. Anything. At this point, we would take something even without a cartridge slot, but it's so important. It's so important that you do have the cartridge slot, though, for this one. It's an Atari product. It's a unique Atari product. And I bet you that you would have a response that you could not believe. You would have such a great response to this that it would surpass. I would guarantee you this, right? I think I wouldn't be misstating or misleading anybody that if I told you that if you released a 5200 product, the response you would get would be greater than the response that you got for the Intellivision Sprint. And the Intellivision Sprint came to you by surprise. You bought those entities, right? You bought Intellivision, and it was great. It was you got the response that more than what you expected. But if you did the 5200, double that because there is that many of us out there that have just nostalgia for this particular. A lot of people call it the beast console, right? It's so big and what have you. You don't have to make it that big, right? You can do a more modern take. But if you can make something like the controllers that work, just that alone would be a banger. Just that alone would be a seller. But if you just give us a 5200, man, 5200, we deserve it. The loyal fans of Atari that have been here from the beginning, man, you got to give it to us. Give us something. You've done so many great things right now. And there is no way, I'm telling you, there is no way that if you produce this product, even if you make it with an adapter for the older cartridges or the 7800, as a additional peripheral, and sell it separately, you would blow it out. You would blow it out. If you made 10,000 units, guarantee you, if you made 20,000 units, they would sell out on pre-order. That's how big of a banger this would be. And I would think it would be even greater than that. What do you guys think? You Atari fan out there? Are you an Atari fan? Are you an old school fan? Do you think we deserve the 5200? It's such an underrated library, man. And there's so many bangers in there that we deserve to play these games, man. Atari, make it happen. Play on. Talk to Atari. Let's get it done. All right, humans, I will catch you on the next one. Guys, if you're members, don't forget, there's a lot of codes in there. Go get them. If you don't get them this week, I'm going to make them public, and then everybody else is going to get them. Guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.